The bizarre fact that you've never heard of. Almost all of us have bad breath to some degree. It's just a matter of how much. If you don't believe it, lick your hand and wait for the saliva to dry, then smell it. That smell is what others smell when they're facing you. But there's something truly frightening, and that's your breath smells 2 to 3 times worse to others than what you're able to smell. Many people feel like their breath still smells bad even though they brush their teeth regularly. The reason is that brushing alone is not enough. Regular brushing focuses only on the teeth and ignores about 80% of the remaining area in the mouth. This remaining area is where odor-causing bacteria thrive and break down food particles, creating an unpleasant odor and disrupting the balance of the mouth's microbiome. The bizarre truth you've never known. NASA has released the first image captured by the James Webb Space Telescope, revealing secrets about the origin of our universe. In this image, there are thousands of galaxies, but what's remarkable is that it was captured in a very, very small area. To visualize it, hold a grain of sand up and stretch your arm out as far as possible. That grain of sand is the size of the space captured in this image by the James Webb Telescope. Yes, only a small area the size of a grain of sand in the sky contains thousands of galaxies. Looking at the image, we can see galaxies that appear distorted, but in reality, these galaxies are not distorted. They are actually behind a huge cluster of galaxies so massive that it warps space around it, bending the light from the galaxies behind it and giving them a distorted appearance. Even more surprising is that these distorted galaxies are the oldest structures in the universe that humans have ever known. They are located 13.5 billion light-years away, meaning that when we look at this image, we are looking at the past from 13.5 billion years ago. The Big Bang occurred 13.8 billion years ago, so we are only a little bit away from capturing it with the James Webb Space Telescope. The strange truth you've never known. It's not black holes that are the scariest thing in the universe. It's gamma-ray bursts. This type of radiation is emitted from explosions in galaxies that are very, very far away from us. The appearance of a gamma-ray burst is also the moment a new black hole is born. The power of this type of radiation is so immense that in just a few seconds, it produces more energy than the entire amount of energy the sun has created during its entire lifetime. The truly terrifying thing is that if a gamma-ray burst were to hit Earth, our planet would vaporize instantly and there would be no way for humans to stop it. In 2008, there was a gamma-ray burst that hit Earth, but luckily, the explosion occurred at a very far distance, so its impact on Earth was negligible. However, we cannot predict what will happen in the future. Who knows, on a beautiful day, a gamma-ray burst may hit Earth at a closer distance, and at that moment, we will all vaporize together from the universe. A strange fact that you may not know is that shopping addiction is considered a mental illness by psychologists. If you exhibit the following symptoms, you are likely suffering from this disorder. First, you spend too much time on shopping, possibly spending hours or even a whole day researching the product you are about to buy. Second, you feel empty and deprived when you cannot shop. However, shortly after buying a new item, you realize that you do not really need it. Third, after making a purchase, you feel extremely guilty and regretful. Fourth, you shop for the emotional high, ignoring your budget. According to psychologists, being addicted to shopping for a long time can not only cause financial ruin but also lead to depression. However, living in a modern society and consumerism means that we cannot avoid shopping altogether. Therefore, the best way to treat shopping addiction is to spend money more wisely. The bizarre truth you've never known. Whales have the most peculiar evolutionary process on the planet. Their ancestors were actually a land-dwelling animal called Pachycetidae, which lived around 53 million years ago. These creatures were about the size of a wolf and belonged to the group of even-toed ungulates. This means that whales are closely related to giraffes, deer, and hippos. It may sound unbelievable, but scientists have discovered this through finding numerous whale fossils during their transition period. During this time, the body parts of whales began to evolve to adapt to the underwater environment, and this transformation took about 16 million years. Through the fossils, we can see that their nostrils began to move upwards towards the top of their head. What's more unusual is that their ear bones also became abnormally large, which helped their ears withstand the pressure when diving deep underwater. To explain why whales are related to giraffes, deer, and hippos, we can look at the bones in their eye sockets. While most mammals have only one protruding bone in their eye sockets, the even-toed ungulates have two. And, of course, whales and their ancestors also possess this characteristic feature.